That was absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this.
Welcome to Phone the Musical, the radio show. I'm your host, Nathan Fleet, and on this show we will be taking you through the music and the process of making a musical web series that was shot on an iPhone 15. Recorded at the historical Grant Avenue studio, and it features some of Southern Ontario's greatest talent. We've got interviews with the cast and crew and plenty of new music, so stay with us for the hour. Phone the Musical series follows a teenage girl named Summer who learns that she has won a songwriting competition to record a song in Hamilton's historic Grant Avenue studio, and she must convince her dad to let her go. With the death of her mother less than a year ago, her overprotective father doesn't want his teenage daughter to go. Against his wishes, she leaves her rural home and arrives in Hamilton, where her phone is immediately stolen. With no way to communicate or navigate, Summer has to find her way through the city, find her band, and get to the studio on time. Here's a quick preview from the series opener.
Hi, I'm Summer, and this is my room. My mom died over a year ago. Well, I should be sad telling you this. Today is the day I find out if I won a contest to record a song tomorrow at a legendary studio in Hamilton. I know my mom would be way more excited than me if she was here. My dad, on the other hand, doesn't even know I applied to the contest. He wants me to focus on getting top marks so I can go to university. He's changed since mom died, and he's way too protective of me. He did, however, say yes to me getting this new phone, which I love. It only took 11 months and 6 days. Best thing he ever did, because now we barely speak to each other. That came out wrong. What I meant to say is that on this phone, I can pretty much do anything that is needed to survive in this world. I can chat with friends, shop, order food. I can learn how to make music. I can see the world my dad doesn't want me to see. And that's how I learned about this songwriting contest. And that's where our story begins.
And you have been selected to record your song tomorrow at the studio! Oh my god, what the
And that is where our show begins. Let's start off by playing track number 1 featuring Greg Solomon, who plays the dad, on lead vocals, and some backup by the lead actress Fiona Short as his teenage daughter. This is Please Don't Let Me Down on Phone the Musical, the radio show.
Practice doesn't always make perfect. Good things don't always come to those who wait. There's not always a reason for things happening. Sometimes the early bird is too late. What doesn't kill you doesn't always make you stronger. Does absence really make the heart grow fonder? Those who can't, well, they don't always teach. And people rarely practice what they preach. Please don't let me down. You seem to be the only real thing around. Please don't let me down. You're the only thing that is for sure. And I wouldn't want to change that for the world. What goes up doesn't always come back down. What goes around doesn't always come around. The bigger they are, the harder they may not fall. Some people really do have it all. The youth isn't always wasted on the youth. Is there anyone you can trust to tell you the truth? Beggars can be choosers, don't you know? Some days the pen has got nothing on the sword. Please don't let me down. You seem to be the only real thing around. Please don't let me down. You're the only thing that is for sure, and I wouldn't want to change that for the world.
Great story, a real feel-good story, and an absolutely fantastic soundtrack. Well done.
Hey everyone, cast and crew. It was fabulous. Everyone's voices were amazing. I loved it. Great editing. It was a great story. I loved all the little short episodes. I've got nothing. Like, everything was fantastic. Great job, everyone.
That was absolutely amazing. Bravo, Nathan. Wonderful, wonderful.
Nathan, I love your musical.
It was a wonderful show. Great opportunity to display wonderful voices and acting. Great job.
If you are just tuning in, this is Phone the Musical, the radio show. We're talking about the making of a web series, Phone the Musical, that was shot on an iPhone and is out now on YouTube. I'm your host, Nathan Fleet, and I'm the songwriter and director of this series. That song you just heard was actually written about 18 years ago when my first daughter was born, and I never recorded it. So when this story came to mind, I brought it back to life. You will hear a lot more about how these songs and this series came to be. But first, let's listen to another tune, track 2. This is for all you dreamers out there. This is For Love on Phone the Musical, the radio show.
I wish I could go to sleep. I feel that I'm in too deep. So I take my time on the one-way streets, clearing my mind. Oh, why am I a lonely dreamer trying to find someone to tell a selfish desire with hopeful intentions, sharing a love that I know so well. I said to myself, I said it out loud, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't care. I said to myself, I said it so loud, I can't live with myself if I can't always be there for love. I wish I could take you with me to see a place where we're supposed to be. Instead, I walk back from here to start a part of life that will be. I said to myself, I said it out loud, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't care. I said to myself, I said it so loud, I can't live with myself if I can't always be there for love. We're time like today to hold on with both hands and close your eyes. Take what you've learned yesterday. You may need it tomorrow or later in life. And you seem much older now. You seem much wiser now. You must believe all the way. I feel much better now. I will find my dream somehow. I will hold your hand all the way. I said to myself, I said it out loud, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't care. I said to myself, I said it so loud, I can't live
if I can't always be there? I said to myself, I said it so loud, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't care. I said to myself, I said it so loud, I can't live with myself if I can't always be there. For love.
Phone. This was such an amazing production. There were so many great takeaways from pieces of how important our phones are in our general life today, but how uninformed or how unprepared one can be when they don't have their phone. Everything from what we used to teach in society, kids, if you get lost or you're in trouble, who do you find? You find a police officer, or you find somebody can help. But I think today's society, we're totally lost, and that whole communication piece. Two people sitting at a table, both lost on their phones, no communication back and forth. So I just think it's a really good reminder too that we still need to communicate without being on our phones. But great production. Loved the show. Loved Fiona. I can't wait to see where this young girl goes. Yeah, Nathan, you did a wonderful job. Love the soundtrack. It was great.
For Love was a song that was originally recorded back in 1998 for the rock band Park Row. The band was named after the street they grew up on in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. The band consisted of myself, Nathan Fleet, on lead vocals, Marty Fleet on bass, Daryl Schustick on keyboards, and Michael Scott on the drums. We played our final show in 2000 at the Burlington Sound of Music Festival, opening for Jim Cuddy. After that, we packed it in. I always liked the song, and I thought it should have new life at some point. And that point was now. Brought back with a new story and a new band featuring Fiona Short and Ashley Sloggett as the mom in the bridge, with a great ensemble of teens: Claire Norrie, Evelyn Smith, Sophia Kozub, and Sofia Orente Portillo. I performed all the guitars and bass, and the original drummer, Michael Scott, joined me playing again on a track he recorded about 28 years ago. Speaking of recording, I want to introduce our first guest, Mike Bruce. Mike is the co-founder at Aeon Studio Group, partner at Studio 550, a location manager for film and television, and the owner of Grant Avenue Studio. He also fronts a grunge tribute band called Smile. Here's my interview with Mike Bruce. So Mike Bruce, thanks so much for being on the show here. I know that you've got a background in film and in music, so I just would like you to let our listeners know how you got started in both film and in music.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll give you the Coles Notes version, but effectively, I grew up in a small town out by Peterborough, Ontario, and with dreams of being a rock star, realized that small town life wasn't conducive to being a rock star, and was convinced to move to the city, where I met my wife, and then I quickly realized, wow, I actually have to make some money. So a friend of mine suggested becoming an extra in film and television, where they would feed you peanut butter sandwiches and pay you $7 an hour cash. And I immediately called my mother and told her I had made it. And then from there, I just started meeting people and realized that it was something that was really interesting to me, and found my way into locations. And then, but never gave up kind of that rock star dream. And so I've just always kept the music thing alive as well.
So how old were you when you started in music?
Well, I joined my first band, I think, when I was 13 or 14. And I was a drummer. I started out as a drummer and then moved to the city when I was 19, because our guitar player was from there, and lived there for, that's where I met my wife, and lived for, a long time until we started having children. And now I live in Milton.
Not that long ago, you decided to go back to your musical roots and buy a recording studio. Not just any recording studio, the historic Grant Avenue Studio, which is celebrating their 50th anniversary here in 2026. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got involved in taking over that studio?
Yeah, well, life has a way of coming full circle because of my music, career and the fact that I'm still, active. It was kind of a come together moment with music and film. A person that I work with very closely, he had a connection to Grant Avenue Studio. He asked me if I'd go meet with them and try and, bring film to the studio to, bring them more revenue. So, very quickly, it was a matter of weeks. We discussed the idea of us taking over. I called a few partners and, discussed it with my wife, who's also one of the owners. And we quickly decided that it was a good move.
That's amazing. And for those of you who are just tuning in here, we're talking with Mike Bruce, who is one of the owners of Grant Avenue Studio, where we shot a key scene from Phone and also recorded the soundtrack at Grant Avenue Studios at this historic place. Before I let you go, Mike, if someone wants to reach you at the studio, what's the website they can go to?
GrantAvenueStudio.com. We're on all the socials.
GrantAvenueStudio.com. Mike Bruce, thank you so much for spending some time with us here today on Phone, the Musical, the radio show. We're talking about the making of a web series, Phone the Musical, that was shot on an iPhone and is out now on YouTube. I'm your host, Nathan Fleet, and I'm the songwriter and director of the series. We're going to get to some more music, but stick around. We have interviews with performers Greg Solomon, Ashley Sloggett, producer Jeremy Major, and the star of the show, Fiona Short, all coming up after this tune, track 3, Perfect Reflection.
You recognize these waters, you've been stranded here before. They won't be coming back for you, so easy to ignore. They said it wouldn't hold you, that ship was built for more. It really doesn't matter, they're not headed for the shore. So trust the night to wash away the pain, and let the full moon make the waves that carry all the rain. The air around you starts to hypnotize as you dream about the sand. Your perfect reflection helps you realize you're doing the best that you can. You gotta tread these waters if you're gonna stay alive. They'll try to pull you under. Just don't struggle to survive. Don't let them get the best of you. Don't let it soak your skin. It's better to be patient before the morning swim. So trust the night to wash away the pain, and let the full moon make the waves that carry all the rain. The air around you starts to crystallize as your breath turns to sand. Your perfect reflection helps you realize you're doing the best that you can. The eastern sun is rising slow. The full moon fades away. The silence of the water is the silence of the day. If you make it to the shallow, you'll make it all the way. You don't have to apologize. You'll learn to walk along the sand. Your perfect reflection helps you realize you're doing the best that you can. You don't have to apologize. apologize. You learn to walk along the sand. Your perfect reflection helps you realize you're doing the best that you can.
Music was awesome. It reminded me a lot of ABBA, nice harmonies, and the theme of the whole film was extremely well done and left a positive message.
It was an incredible return to rock operas in the vein of Jesus Christ Superstar and Hairspray. Just fantastic. Really awesome return to that rock opera vibe.
You can watch Phone the Musical, get the soundtrack on CD or digital, or collect the vinyl, all from my website at nathanfleet.com/phone. He is an actor on stage and screen. He's a singer, an acting coach, and the co-owner of the Hammont Acting Studio in Dundas, Ontario. This is my interview with Greg Solomon. So, Greg, can you tell me a little bit about how you got into both singing and acting?
When I was about 17, I was in high school and I had done stuff in drama class, and I did the Sears Ontario Drama Festival. And then so after that, I went to the Theatre Chorus Performing Arts program where I met my now wife. We met doing the musical Rent, and then I wasn't going to do post-secondary. I just fell in love with singing and acting, and so I started training, and I was I'm going to audition for one program. I'm going to audition for Sheridan, not anything else. If I get in, I'll pursue this, and if not, I'll do something else. And I got in. The rest is history.
Where does your interest lie? Is it more in acting? Is it more in singing? Is it a bit of both?
Yeah, it's still a bit of both. I feel like the older I get and the less I do musical theater frequently, the muscles atrophy really quick. So I've always been actor first. I've always been really drawn to the story-driven content, and singing's always been kind of peripheral. So right now, I would say I'm pretty focused in on acting, but when I get the opportunity to do musical, I'll never say no. I just got to work at it.
And speaking of musicals, you landed the role of Dad in Phone the Musical.
Here it is.
Not even landed, you were the only choice for that character. You were kind of pre-selected for that role. Can you tell me a little bit about the process of either preparing the songs or the acting role of Dad in this?
Yeah, totally. So when you had reached out for me to play the role, for Dad especially, that immediately I was I'm an adult now. That's where I was I'm playing the dad. So preparing for this was, getting the demos off of you and listening to the music. And I feel like music is always my in to the vibe or the tone of a project. So understanding, especially in musical theater, where does the music come from? It doesn't just come from thin air. It comes from the character's mind or the character's body. So listening to the dad songs and being okay, so what are these melodies? What are these rhythms? What do they mean if they're coming from his brain? So where is he right now? And then that was it. And then Fiona just made it easy. And she's just so talented and warm. I was oh, I could do this. If I had a kid, I'd like to imagine it would be like this.
One of the things, too, that you brought to this, you kind of had to do your own movement. There was no real restrictions, but can you tell us a little bit about what you brought to it?
I think some people might find it paralyzing to just be given the biggest driveway you've ever seen and just to go, just go, do whatever you're feeling. I just feel like getting a degree in acting and musical theater where it's 4 years of just rolling around on a dance room floor and, become fire, become ice, become water. It's kind of set me up for success to not overanalyze something where it's just what are the words? What are you saying? What are you trying to do? And just be free in your body.
So can you tell us a little bit about the Hammont Acting Studio?
Yeah, I'm one of the co-owners of Hammont Acting Studio in Dundas, Ontario, and we're an on-camera film and TV acting studio. So we do a bunch of different classes. We do one-on-one sessions. We also film a lot of pros in the area or people who are cutting their teeth. We also film auditions and self-tapes, and we edit them, we fire them off just to make them nice and clean, and so you can show up and just be I just have to be an actor. I don't have to be an editor. I don't have to be a producer. I don't have to be a director. And we also do these like demo reel short films. It's the whole chicken and the egg thing where people are like, well, I need footage, but I can't get footage because I don't have representation, but I can't get representation because I don't have footage. So we do these demo reel shorts where we write tailor-made roles for actors who are at the studio or not. And we get a ton of submissions. We select 6 per short film. We're doing 6 short films this summer. So we're gonna do 36 actors.
Amazing.
It's gonna be a lot. Yeah. And then yeah, everyone gets some killer footage and an IMDb credit. And then they premiere at the Hamilton Film Festival, which is your baby and one of our best friends. And it's in October, the Hamilton Film Fest demo screening. It's our Christmas here. Like, it's the thing we look forward to the most. And it's good when we all can get together. Whether you've been acting for 30 years or you've been acting for 3 months, every single person is an expert in the human experience because we're all humans. And so you learn something from everyone you watch, no matter how much experience they have. So it's a great place to be. Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, Greg Solomon, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us here today on Phone, the Musical, the radio show.
Thanks for having me.
Always great talking to Greg Solomon. And now we're going to hear from the crew side of things. We have producer and color grader Jeremy Major. Here's our recorded interview. You are a director, you are a producer, you are a musician, you're an editor, you do visual effects. You seem to do a lot of things. Can you just tell me a little bit about how you got into filmmaking?
I think part of the reason I got into filmmaking is because I was interested in all these different things. I originally thought I was going to go into animation, but I discovered this whole world of possibilities in media where I could bring together my interest in music and art, in performance, and all these things. And so filmmaking was just this great blend of everything.
And how long ago was that you actually got into it seriously?
Well, I went to college for it, majored in film at Sheridan, and that's 25 years ago.
And so, 25 years later, here we are. And on Phone, you were the producer and also the colorist. Now, I think people might be able to figure out what a producer does. You produce things. But what does a colorist do on a movie?
So the colorist goes in and gives it life, makes it look like a movie, adds various filters, corrects the exposure, makes everything kind of match. And you want to give it a look that supports the creative aspect of it. So, with Phone, for example, I think we wanted to give it a filmic look. We didn't want it to look like a TV show per se. We want to give it a bit of a movie look, maybe a bit of a vintage vibe in there. There's a lot of interesting locations. So to kind of give all of that a cohesive look that is dynamic and filmic. That was, I guess, kind of the goal there.
And of all of the jobs that you do, which one is your favorite?
My favorite is the one I'm doing that day. The one I'm sort of excited to do next. It's like when you're writing, you're excited to shoot. When you're shooting, you're excited to edit. When you're editing, you're excited to do the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just love the whole thing. I love to get my hands in there and involved in the entire process.
So if someone wants to find your work, where are they going to find it?
The best place is the website, shootingeye.com.
That's shootingeye.com. Yes. Jeremy Major, thank you so much for coming and talking with us.
Thank you, Nathan.
If you are missing someone or thinking about someone special, listening to the radio, driving in your car, commuting, or enjoying this show online, here are a couple of tracks to slow down the mood. Wild Out There and Home to You. You're listening to Phone the Musical, the radio show.
Baby, it's wild out there. She's just a child out there. She's got so much to share. But baby, it's wild out there.
It's wild out here. I'm just a child out here. I've got so much to share, but baby, it's wild out here.
Baby, it's wild out there. She's just a child out there. I've got so much to share, but baby, it's wild out there.
Call us, please call us. You got some friends you can't trust. Just call us.
I can't call you. one thing I wish I could do, but I can't call you.
Call me, please call me. How different I wish things could be. Just call me.
It's wild out here.
Maybe it's wild out there.
I'm just a child out here.
I will change this, I swear. It's your voice that I wanna hear. Maybe it's wild out there.
Who would have thought it would have turned out this way? Every night you lie awake, I'm gone away. There was a time when life seemed to take me by the hand, swept me away, took me straight across this land. 1,000,000 things we'll never see, they don't mean that much to me. All the highways live and die, take me to the one that leads me to your eyes. The sun never waits for me. On this road is where I always seem to be. In the night it seems right, in the light with all my might, I will fight to come back home to you. Who would have thought I would have turned out this way? Sometimes in life we don't always do the things we say. Can you balance life when it's love versus love? In quiet times we follow stars from above. 1,000,000 things we'll never see. Will you still remember me? All the highways live and die, take me to the one that leads me to your eyes. The sun never waits for me. On this road is where I always seem to be. In the night it seeseems right in the light with all my might. I will fight. My life can be this road can be so long. The longer I can hold on to this song I sing for you. The sun never waits for me. On this road is where I always seem to be. In the night it seems right, in the light with all my might, I will fight to come back home to you. Come back home to you.
Wow, So that was amazing. I want to let you know that I cried twice, once over happiness and once over sadness. You know which songs I'm talking about. What a fantastic job. Thanks for the opportunity to come see you, and can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
Episode 7 made me cry my eyes out.
Loved your movie. So glad we can come and support the show with Fiona. The music was great. It was catching. Some of the scenes brought tears to my eyes, and I think you did a marvelous job. So congratulations.
I had so much fun watching that. I was not expecting the music and the lyrics to hit me emotionally as much as they did. That was definitely a surprise in a good way. But it was so much fun. I'm definitely going to watch again.
The show was amazing. Made me cry, and I loved the Hamilton Pride. You should definitely come see it.
You just heard tracks 4 and 5 on the Phone the Musical soundtrack. Wild Out There, featuring the ensemble of teens Claire Norrie, Evelyn Smith, Sophia Kozub, and Sofia Orente Portillo, plus Greg Solomon and Fiona Short. After that, we heard Home to You, featuring the amazing Ashley Sloggett, whose talents seem to have no limits. Here's my interview with Ashley Sloggett. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to first ask you how you got into either film or music and what came first.
I would say music came first. My mom has a funny joke where she's like, oh, you didn't cry as a baby, you just sang. So yeah, I was just singing ever since I was a small child, and it was probably one of the first things that I really, was drawn to. And I just wanted to be a rock star. Yeah, that was it. And then I got into acting because I was also a theater kid. Went to school for theater. And then I didn't start film acting until probably my late 20s. And then that's been my world. Yeah.
Style of music do you prefer sing? If you got your choice of one style to live with, what would you pick?
If I had to pick one style of music, oh man, I'm a pop girl. There's something about a really catchy melody that I just am obsessed with. That's kind of how I ended up. I do a lot of little covers. I have a series called Midnight Minis where it's an excuse to play my guitar at midnight and sing on the internet. And I gravitate towards the pop, but I also am a 90s punk rock kid.
Speaking of 90s punk rock,
yeah.
When the role of mom came across your desk and you were asking about wardrobe, and I said something white and flowy, and you were like, how about 90s punk white and flowy? Right away you jumped in with that. And I was like, that's cool, because you're bringing some of your own personality to it. Then you also brought a lot of your own vocal style to the song Home to You. Now, the original melody was not what people hear on there.
Yeah.
You really took it and made it your own. Can you tell me about the process of hearing a song and then changing it so that it fit your vocal style?
Part of it was my range.
Mm-hmm.
So, I understand you're doing a demo for, a scratch vocal. And I'm like, yeah, so we could have more fun. And I'm a big fan of counter melodies. I love playing kind of outside the lines of your typical triads and stuff. So I think that's where I had fun with it. But it was also my character, even though, she's a ghost and, spoilers. I'm lending what I thought her character would be, which was someone who's sort of slugging it on their own. And they may not have a producer that has this perfectly matched, every verse is exactly the same, every chorus is exactly the same. So I was kind of what would someone who's an indie musician who's trying to find their voice do on this song? I try not to color inside the lines perfectly every time, and I think that's done me well over the years, but I had so much fun with it.
So thank you so much for being part of this project. It was really special to have you involved.
Thank you.
Ashley Sloggett, thank you so much for being here with us on Phone the Musical, the radio show.
Thanks for having me, Nathan.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely loved it. Actually, one of the best series I've ever seen in my life. Such a great message. The whole cast is so freaking talented. Literally a must watch. Will be recommending to everybody I know. Loved it.
I loved the show. I thought it was really cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing if you guys make a part 2.
Hi, you did such a great job. I loved Phone the Musical. It was so fun. I loved all the music and stuff. If you ever do a Phone Part 2, then I would be a great little sister for Fiona. Keep me in mind.
You can watch Phone the Musical, get the soundtrack on CD or digital, or collect the vinyl, all from my website at nathanfleet.com/phone. We're on the upswing here on Phone the Musical, the radio show. We're talking about the making of a web series, Phone the Musical, that was shot on an iPhone and is out now on YouTube. I'm your host, Nathan Fleet, the songwriter and director of the series. This show wouldn't be complete without chatting with the star of our show. Fiona Short, at 13, is no stranger to the stage. 3 productions with Drayton Entertainment, 6 productions with the London Performing Arts Academy, and a featured singer and dancer with Pop Nation Canada. Her debut screen appearance was with Phone the Musical series. Here is part 1 of my interview with Fiona Short.
Okay, I got started in music when I was about 5 years old. My papa used to babysit me, and he heard me singing around the house and told me I should get into some singing lessons, and I absolutely loved singing. It was so much fun and it brought me so much joy that I decided I wanted to do more, and now I do acting and singing and dance, and I play so many instruments, and that's how I got started. I love working at Drayton Entertainment. I love doing their pantos. It's so much fun being a part of such a happy production. That one's a fun thing to be a part of. I've done lots of recitals and competitions. I've done all of my conservatory exams, so I'm all ready for college and singing piano and theory. I've taken a bunch of lessons for trumpet and the piano. Yeah.
Is dance involved at all? Are you a dancer?
Yeah, so dance was one of the things that I didn't start till later. I had an audition actually with Drayton for a panto, and my parents got to watch the audition, and everyone around me was an amazing dancer, and they were like, oh God, we have to get you into dancing. So I started dancing around the age of 10, which is considered late for a dancer, but in the shows that I have done, there is a lot of dancing, and I will say that I'm an alright dancer. I love dancing. It's a lot of fun, and I love the hours that you get to do as a dancer because they're hardcore, and I love the challenge, and dancing is definitely a challenge.
So of all of the arts, what one is your favorite? Which one do you enjoy the most?
Definitely singing. Singing is what I started off with. It's my favorite thing, and it's what I feel like I can do the best. It brings me so much joy, and like whenever I'm having a bad day, and like even if I just don't want to sing, I'll sing, and then I feel so much better. It's like it's a big part of my life.
And you do a lot of vocal training?
I do tons of vocal training. I train with 2 different teachers 2 times a week, a professional coach and my coach that does my conservatory exams. They're both amazing people, and I'm singing every day, practicing for competitions, for fun, for performances, everything. It's like it takes a while to even get my voice ready for some of the songs that I'm singing, and years of training to get to the point that I am now.
Well, we're going to listen to one of your songs. We're going to hear you sing right now. We're going to listen to Find My Way, but don't go anywhere. We will be right back with Fiona Short after this song.
I'm caught between the girl that I am and who I want to be. I have seen many things, but haven't seen anything. We're together in this dream, alone in this city. Someone find me. I don't know these streets, alone in this dream. Something's calling me. I will find my way. I will make mistakes. I might be afraid, but I will find my way. I wish I could hold you every day, but I can feel you just the same. I am not afraid, but I will find my way. I'm in between the place I wanna be and the mess I'm in. I can't believe I'm the worst that I can be, and yet the best I've been. This isn't like me, and it's exactly who I am. I don't feel free. You have gone away, but I can feel you where I stand. Something's moving me. I will find my way. I will make mistakes. I might be afraid, but I will find my way. I wish I could hold you every day, but I can feel you just the same. I am not afraid, but I will find my way. I can't follow rules, but I can follow the signs. I have missed a beat, but I feel I'm right on time. I can't follow these lines, I'll just follow the stars. The girl I am is here, and this is where you are. I will find my way. I will make mistakes. I might be afraid, but I will find my way. I wish I could hold you every day, but I can feel you just the same. I am not afraid, but I will find my way, find my way.
Hi, my name is Fiona Short. I play Summer in Phone the Musical. I think it was really, really good, and so many people should watch it because it's a great, great show. Woohoo! Okay, yay. Thank you.
Just got done watching Phone and absolutely loved it. The music was great and Fiona did amazing.
Leave the theater happy and having really enjoyed the performance of both Fiona and her dad.
I loved every minute of it, and Fiona was a superstar. Thanks so much. Wow, Fiona, that was incredible. I'm so glad I made the drive to come and see it. Can't wait to see you up again on the big screen.
And we're back with Fiona Short, the lead actress of Phone the Musical, here on Phone the Musical, the radio show. Welcome back, Fiona. We just listened to Find My Way. Can you tell me a little bit about recording that song or even learning that song? Because it was an original written specifically for you.
Learning that song was such a great experience. I'm so used to just listening to a song on Spotify and then singing it that way, but because it was an original song, all I had was Nathan, your voice, singing it for me, and I got to make it my own, which is an experience that I've never gotten before, and that was a very interesting experience.
And to record that song, we went into the historic Grant Avenue studio. Had you ever recorded in a professional recording studio before?
I had not. It was honestly a little nerve-wracking going in. I didn't know what to expect, really. I'm so used to performing live on stage and like going there, like if I messed up, I realized, oh, it's fine, I can just go again. I remember I had a voice crack really bad during recording, and they're like, okay, we'll just cut it, just sing it again. And I was like, oh, wow, that's so different from what I'm used to.
And have you been in a recording studio since, or is that your first time?
I haven't been in a full recording studio yet. In one of my coach's basements, we'll record little albums and stuff at the end of the year, but that was my first time.
And so the recording process of music is a lot different than live music, like you said. You get a couple tries in case you make a mistake, but also the music is pre-recorded, and then you didn't even hear the full song until like much later because the song gets pieced together as it goes on. What did you think of when the very first time you heard the final version of Find My Way?
It was so awesome. I heard my voice singing it like at the recording studio, and that's all I really heard. And when I heard it while we were filming, because we played it and I was singing over top, it was so fun. I was so happy listening to myself. Usually I'll get a little like scared and like, oh my gosh, that's my singing voice, but I was so happy.
That's awesome. And you were great, knocked it out of the park. I say that to everybody, that you came in and you just did an amazing job. Now that also was your first time in a filmed production.
Yes, it was.
Specifically. So can you tell me a little bit about not so much your experience, but your thoughts as you were going through this process?
Growing up in the theater world, I had lessons with my acting coach before, and I was like reading through the script, and she's like, Fiona, you're doing it all wrong. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, it's television, like it's close up in your face, the camera, and you just have to act every day. And I had no idea what she was talking about. So going into it, I was a little nervous, but over the days that we filmed and like going on to like the 5th day, which was like one of their last days, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm starting to get the hang of it. And it kind of went with me. I started to figure it out as it went on. And
you did a great job, because for those of you listening, or if you haven't seen Phone, we were out in the city. For a lot of this stuff took place out in the city. So we were out in city streets, city parks, that sort of thing. And there's people around just walking around and having their normal average day. But you kind of stayed in character the whole time and performed as if you were that character out on the streets doing those things. So did you have any acting training for the camera?
For the camera? No, not really. I have my acting coach, Stacey Smith, and we just went over the scenes together on like a Zoom meet, but no acting in front of the camera.
Amazing. So it sounds like you're staying in the arts. This is your lane.
Yes, I am.
That's amazing. So Fiona, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us here on Phone the Musical, the radio show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's that time. We've got one more song to end our show. Once again, I'm your host, Nathan Fleet, and I want to thank our guests, Mike Bruce, Jeremy Major, Ashley Sloggett, Greg Solomon, and Fiona Short. The show was produced by Blue Pick Media, recorded and edited by Ben Quigley and Jack Sephton. I want to thank you for listening. You can watch Phone the Musical, get the soundtrack on CD or digital, or collect the vinyl, all from my website at nathanfleet.com/phone. Once again, that is nathanfleet.com/phone. This is track number 7, All I Can Say. Keep dreaming, dreamers.
The summer nights seem to get hotter. Another street light shines in the water. You had to be there, and that's all I can say. Faces are clear. When they leave, they'll get colder. Another street light bleeds on my shoulder. You had to be there, and that's all I can say. The brightest of nights, like a piece of paper with needles inside. Illumination, you had to be there, and that's all I can say. Just a few more hours until the sun shines. A separate line takes you and leaves you behind, and that's all I can say. You gotta stop right there, think where you're going. You have a little time, have till you know the time's go, and that's all I can say. You gotta stop right there, know where you're going. You have a little time, not till the morning time to go, and that's all I can say. The summer days seem to get to me. Another street light seems to go through me. You had to be there on that summer's day. You gotta take it or leave it. It's how you receive it that makes you believe that you had to be there. And that's all I can say. You gotta stop right there, think where you're going. You have a little time until you know the time to go, and that's all I can say. You gotta stop right there, know where you're going. You have a little time until the morning's time to go, and that's all I can say.
Holding the words, thinking what to say. I would just tell you if I had a way.
Things that I want are all the things that I need. I thought they were there, and that's all I can say. All the things that I have are all the things that I need. They were always there, and that's all I can say. You gotta stop right there, think where you're going. You have a little time until you know the time to go, and that's all I can say. You gotta stop right there, know where you're going. You have a little time till the morning time to go, and that's all I can say.